Although fighting continues across both sides of the Israeli-Lebanese border, Mr. Hochstein, the relentless advocate of endless diplomatic illusions in Lebanon, insists adamantly that significant progress has been made, indicating from his optimistic assessment that the end of the fighting is, and I'm quoting him, within grasp, end of quote. As he resumes his shuttle diplomacy between Beirut and Tel Aviv to narrow the remaining gaps between the parties and lock in a ceasefire agreement. What is Hochstein's trying to achieve in this round of talks, and will he succeed in nudging both parties to accept his ceasefire proposal? According to Israeli-Lebanese media reports, the Biden administration's proposal being peddled by Hochstein includes the following basic steps. 1. An experimental temporary ceasefire for 60 days. 2. Withdrawal by Hezbollah forces to areas north of the Litani River. Areas south of the Litani River, in other words, most of South Lebanon, will be placed under the control of the Lebanese armed forces and the UN interim force in Lebanon known as UNIFIL. 3. Israeli troops will be withdrawn from South Lebanon after 60 days. 4th, international guarantees will be offered by countries like the US, the UK, France, Germany, and others. And last, Israel's insistence on maintaining full and unhampered rights to intervene in Lebanon as it deems necessary by its own security requirements. Will Hochstein succeed? As much as I would like to see an end to the brutal fighting and widespread destruction in Lebanon, I do not share the optimism expressed this week by the US envoy. In my humble judgment, his optimistic assessment is exaggerated and not borne by the facts and political intentions on the ground, particularly on the Israeli side. While I fully understand the desperation shown by the White House, hoping to succeed in its latest diplomatic efforts, which failed miserably in the past, I do not believe that the Israeli agenda in Lebanon is sufficiently synchronized with that espoused by Washington, as displayed by repeated statements by Netanyahu. Indeed, it is completely at odds with the US agenda, as admitted by Prime Minister Netanyahu and other members of his cabinet, with whom Mr. Hochstein is meeting today as we speak. Unlike vague American diplomacy, Israeli intentions are quite clear. First, Netanyahu has repeatedly stated in no uncertain terms that Israel's attacks on Hezbollah will not stop, despite ceasefire calls. He said, "We are continuing to strike Hezbollah with full force, and we will not stop until we reach our goals." 2. In its determined attempts to achieve these goals in Lebanon, Israel and Netanyahu have shown no concern or respect for Lebanese sovereignty. Its insistence on unimpeded free hand to operate militarily on Lebanese soil is and should be a definite non-starter, and consequently, no reason for optimism, at least on our part.